All right, Miles, let's talk about the Detroit Lions here for a little bit. Look, now we're in the middle of OTAs, we're in mini camps. We're starting to see what teams are going to be. We get to look at their players on the field, the rookies, the veterans, and what their coaching staff is going to do leading these players as we get ready for the 2023 campaign. And the Detroit Lions quietly got some really news and some really good news that I think will be huge for them going into 2023, specifically involving their coaching staff.
Yeah, Nick, I think everyone talks about the players, the signings, free agents, the new draft picks, and those are all really important. But the coaching staff and their decisions are just as important. And the real Lions fans know this, Nick, because the real Lions fans are always plugged in and they have their finger on the heartbeat of this team. They know exactly the ins and outs of everything going on. That's why we want to ask the Lions fans in the comments below today. Give us your under the radar Lions takes. Let us know what you see that you feel like everybody else is missing. Let us know those takes in the comments below. And we're going to share some of our favorites in our next Lions video. But also, Nick, I'd like everyone to stay tuned to the end of the day's video to hear from a word from our partner, and that is Neuro. They have some great products, give you a quick and easy boost of energy. We love to take their mints or gum right before the show. Give us that edge. Give us that high energy Lions content that you love. So make sure to stay tuned to the end of today's video, hear more about Neuro and their products, and to get your hands on our discount code. But Nick, nonetheless, let's hear it. You brought it up. Let's hear what the new move in this Lions coaching staff was.
All right, Mike. So nothing screams high energy than like talking about coaching staff, right? Everyone loves players and all the things going on the field. But I think this is an actual really big move that the Detroit Lions and specifically their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, is doing for the 2023 campaign. We just saw this report from Fan Nation. Mice, if you can pull it up, I will read from it. Then we'll talk about it on the other side. All right. Offensive coordinator Ben Johnson has gained added comfort. The Detroit Lions coaching staff and members of the roster are all working on the same page. Heading into his second campaign running the offense, the talented play caller is dialing back the need to micromanage the offensive operations. If there's one thing I'd say from me a year ago, I micromanaged maybe a little too much, just for the sake of making sure that we were all on the same page of what the vision was, Johnson told reporters prior to practice this week. And now that we have been together for a year and we do have a couple of new coaches, I have a lot more trust in these. They already know. They know the language. They know the vernacular. So there have been more individual meetings as opposed to offensive meetings because these guys know what the expectation is and they are running with it. All right, first things first, for those of you who aren't familiar how installations go and training camp goes, and this was back from my college days, the NFL is structured very similar. You can have three different levels of meeting. You have a team meeting, which is the entire team, obviously. Then you have offensive meetings or defensive meetings, and then you have individual position group meetings. And the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, in this case, the offensive coordinator, gets to decide how much of the time is spent with the entire offense versus how much time is spent with your position coach going over position-specific stuff. Ben Johnson is basically saying, look, last year it was a lot of offensive stuff. It was a whole offense in a room going through plays, going through install. This year, I'm delegating a lot of that responsibility. I am trusting the individual coaches and additionally the individual players to have more meetings on their own to focus on the nitty gritty and improve overall as a team from their individual position perspective instead of having everybody do it in one meeting altogether. Now, why is this big? Miles, we've been doing a lot of research for a different topic line about the 2009 New Orleans Saints, a team that won the Super Bowl. And one of the huge moves that then Saints head coach Sean Payton did before the season, he was the Saints de facto offensive coordinator. Going into the season, he said, listen, I'm taking a hands-off approach to this offense. I'm still going to call the plays. I'm still the guy running the show, but I'm going to let my individual coaches run the offensive side of the ball. They were led by Drew Brees. That team was very talented. And when Sean Payton took his hands off a little bit, that team went better. They missed the playoffs the two previous years. That year, Sean Payton goes a little bit more less micromanaging. The Saints go 13-3 and win it all. Ben Johnson is following that same strategy, and I think this could have a very similar effect for the Detroit Lions heading into 2023. All right, Miles, give me your thoughts on this decision by Johnson and just everything with the Saints offense right now. Lions offense, excuse me.
Yeah, Nick, I completely agree. It's easy to get these two mixed up because I think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl as well. This is exactly what this means. But nonetheless, I think they will be very, very good. I think they make the playoffs this year. This is going to be their year to go further than they have in as long as I can remember. This Lions team has really, really made a lot of jumps, but I think there is something deeper in all of this. Not only has Ben Johnson matured in his position as offensive coordinator, not only has he taken a different approach and felt like he'd get better results, but this different approach can only come from a coach who trusts his other coaches to the level that they can handle everything. So this means the Lions are happy now with all of the coaches they have positioned in each position. The running backs coach has to be on top of things. The tight ends coach, the receivers coach, the QB's coach, everyone has to be able to handle their weight. Obviously, last year they probably had tons of offensive meetings because Johnson didn't have that level of trust that he spoke about early on, and he wasn't quite comfortable. But obviously, after the results from last year, you see how potent the Lions offense had been at times. One of the best offenses at certain points of the season in the NFL. Now he is comfortable. Now everybody is on the same page. So I think this is just a general saying of the Lions are all a cohesive unit on the offensive side of the ball, whether it's the players, whether it's the assistant coaches, and now at the offensive coordinator level with Ben Johnson. Everyone is in agreement. This Lions team is rolling and all of the gears are moving in unison.
All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big time game winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro Gum. Neuro Gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.